I can say that this program will add a more valuable information to our existing IPR and technology knowledge. So this program is organized by the Department of Orthodontics and Endofacial Orthopedics. Let me introduce our guest speaker, today's guest speaker, Dr. J. Mohammed Iqbal, is Senior Assistant Professor in the Department of Orthodontics and Endofacial Orthopedics at Tamil Nadu Government Dental College. If you see, SAR has several...
What is that? Pen. Is pen a technology? Is pen a product of technology? Yes or no? How many of you are saying yes? What do you want? I heard a lot of yeses too. This is technology. We have this idea in your mind that technology is something like big, fanciful and all that. But the literal meaning of technology is some knowledge or equipment that is used in a particular field. So if I am going to be a teacher, my technology is more in terms of books. Because guy is an IT professional, his technology is more in terms of a computer or a software. So this term IPR and technology, I don't know how it got clubbed. But what we are talking now is about intellectual. If you want to patent something, your work should be novel, it should be non-obvious, and it should have some amount of utility. Right? Now, what can and what cannot be patented? You go to a place to patent your work, you should know whether that is patentable or not. So what are the things that can be patented? Machines and devices. Designs of machines and devices can be patented. Industrial processes and methods can be patented. Articles of manufacture can be patented. Any improvements, I told you, even a slight improvement in a chair design, that can be patented. And lab created biological materials can also be patented. So these, if at all you want to know whether your work is patentable or not, you should see whether your work fits in any one of these categories. And what are the categories that you cannot patent? Natural phenomena you cannot patent. What do you mean by that? Theory of relativity cannot be patented. Even though Einstein was the guy who described that to us, that he cannot patent that because it's a natural rights. Whatever I have highlighted in brown are the key terms in the definition. So there are legal rights conferred to an inventor or creator for any intangible original creation. What do you mean by the term intangible? Income. That income could either help you in the initial, whatever you have spent, that can come back to you, or you can also earn a considerable amount from whatever you have done using your intellect. So these are the three reasons why you have intellectual property rights. Number one, in order to give due importance to intellectual labor. Number two, to recover costs that you have incurred during the process. And number three, to ensure exclusive economic gains. So these are the three reasons why we have intellectual property rights. Now what is the history? How did intellectual properties came about? When was the first time somebody thought that the intellectual property should be legally safeguarded? So it came way back in the 1400s in Italy. That was the first time that somebody thought the intellectual property of somebody should be guarded. And what was guarded there? It was basically for the artists who were doing a lot of sculpturing work in Italy. That was in 1474. That was the first time there was a law, a concrete law to protect the intellectual property of an artist, right? But the impetus for intellectual property right came after the invention of the Gutenberg press. Have you heard of this term, Gutenberg press? All of you would have heard because it comes in your class 10, I think, like in your social sciences class 10, right? So Gutenberg press was the first modern press. Where was this found? In Germany. Which was the first book that was printed there? Anybody? The Bible, right? Before that, if you want to write a book and somebody wants to write another book, the only way we can do is sit and have calligraphy. Calligraphers would sit and write books If you want 7 copies, 7 people are going to sit, or 1 guy or 2 guys is going to sit and calligraph those books. But once the Gutenberg press came, people started copying or reprinting a lot of books, particularly Bible. That was the first time people felt the need for having some control over copying of somebody else's work. That was the impetus for intellectual property rights. So that particular picture is immediately taking you to where? For the Mac company, the Macintosh company. Whether it's going to be an iPhone or a Mac system. You get it? So there is an identity related to this image. So this is an intellectual property right. Why are they doing it? Because they want to communicate an exclusivity to the marketplace. You get it? So trademarks can be in the form of